Hey, what's going on everyone? It's your boy Redstone9X here, and welcome back to another mod showcase video. Now today's video, I'm going to be showcasing you guys a mod that adds in a bunch of special items with interesting abilities that you can use when you travel around in your Minecraft world. Now, before I go into more detail on what those special items are in this mod, you know the drill. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss another video. Apart from that guys, let us start today's video. Okay guys, so we got a bunch of these special items here that you can come across when you travel in your Minecraft world. And as always, I will leave a link in the description down below so you guys can try this mod out for yourself later on. Now, let's start this video. So the mod we're checking out today is called the Artifacts mod. So we got a bunch of different artifact-like items here, so we're going to start off with these first three and then work our way down. And also I should make one quick note here that you cannot craft any of these special items. They can only be found in certain chests or loot chests that you can find in the mines below. And we'll explain another way to get them later on as we go through these artifacts here. So for now, let's get to it. So the first item we got is an umbrella, which can be used as both a shield and a glider. So let's teleport to the top and I'll show you. So you can hold this umbrella either in your main or offhand. And when you jump down, you pretty much get an automatic slow fall effect and glide safely to the ground. And now I will show you how it works in combat. So let's get my sword real quick and some husks to demonstrate. So let's go hold the umbrella in my offhand, and when you right click, it will pretty much act as if you were using a normal shield, but a little bit better. And it doesn't look like these things have a durability like shields do, so this could be an even better way to defend yourself than a shield if you come across this. Okay, so now that you've seen that, we're going to move on to the next two items. And for that, let me give myself some hunger so that way we can check out these next few items right here. So next we got is the Everlasting Beef and the Eternal Steak. So this is pretty much like an infinite food supply between these two. So the Everlasting Beef doesn't give you that many hunger points, but it'll pretty much be on a little recharge, so that way you're able to consume it as many times as you want. And same thing for the Eternal Steak, but it's a little bit better. So if you come across any of these two items right, hold on, let me take the umbrella out. If you come across any of these two food items right here, you pretty much won't go hungry ever again. Infinite food for days. Okay, so now let's move on to some of the other items that we got here. So we've got some hats to go over. So we got a plastic drinking hat, novelty drinking hat, snorkel, night vision goggles, villager hat, and superstitious hat. So for this first hat, this pretty much decreases the time it takes to drink drinkable items. So let's get some random potions real quick so I can demonstrate. So this is the speed it would take for you to drink one potion. So like it was about like 3 seconds it took to drink that speed potion. So now let me put on this helmet real quick, and you can either right click to put it on, or you can just press the default key G to open up this little menu right here to put it on that way. So when I drink a potion this time, that took like about 2 seconds, definitely way faster than without it. So this could be a very useful way to drink potions extremely quickly when you need to. And the novelty drinking hat will pretty much do the exact same thing. I think it's just pretty much like a different style of the plastic drinking hat. It doesn't really make much of a difference which one you use, but it will still be effective nonetheless. So now we're going to move on to the next hat, which is the snorkel. And you guys can obviously guess that it will help you breathe underwater, because well, that's what people usually use snorkels for. Diving underwater. Very handy indeed. So now let's move on to the next item, the night vision goggles. So for that, we're going to make it nighttime. Pretty dark out here now, but with the goggles, not anymore. A pretty much good way to see in the dark, even in the blackest of night, and that sort of thing. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the villager hat right here. And this is why I got these 3 villagers right in front of me. So let me do time set day real quick. So you guys see the prices of these villagers right now. But when I put on the villager hat right here, I pretty much get a permanent discount in all villager trades right here. So if you guys don't want to go through the process of like trying to get bad omen to start a raid, then get hero of the village for that sort of thing, then this is the way to do it. And the good thing about this that the villager hat will give you permanent discounts. Hero of the village will eventually run out, so this is a better solution, really. Okay, so now let's move on to the final hat we got here, which is the superstitious hat. So for that, let me quickly get a pickaxe. And this is what I got these blocks for. So with the superstitious hat, it pretty much will give you an added level of looting to kill mobs. Oh, my bad. This is pickaxe is for something else. We'll get to that a little later. My bad. So this is why I have these cows here, and this will work with any mob you come across. So when I put on this hat and get my sword, you pretty much get some extra loot every time you kill some mobs. So it's not entirely a whole lot, but you do get some decent loot just by killing a few mobs. And I believe if you had like looting 3 on the sword plus this hat, I think that would add up to looting 4. I think so anyway. So let me know in the comments below if this works out for you when you have looting and this hat on. Okay, so now we're done with the hats. So we can put them back real quick. And now we're going to move on to some of the items that you can put on in the necklace slot. So we're going to get all these things right here. And first, we're going to move to the lucky scarf. Now this is what we need the pickaxe for. Oops, dropped it. So what the lucky scarf does, it gives you an extra level of fortune when you mine a block. So pretty much gives you a pretty good chance of getting more than one of the resource from each ore. So as you saw, I just got 2 diamonds instead of 1 from some of these ores right here. And just like what I said about the looting hat, or the superstitious hat earlier, I believe if you maybe put fortune 3 on this pickaxe, you might give yourself like fortune 4 plus this scarf. Again, let me know in the comments below if that works out for you guys. But this can really help you out if you go mining in the caves below, for sure. Okay, so now we're gonna take this scarf off and move on to the scarf of invisibility, and which will obviously make you invisible. Well, except for the scarf anyway. And actually, there are these little buttons right here next to the slot, so if you press them, it'll pretty much hide the items, so that way they're not seen. So if you don't want to see like the items that you wear, then you can always press this to turn it off and then turn it on to put them back on and that sort of thing. But you will still get the effects of them even if you hide them, so don't worry about that. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the cross necklace, which will increase the length of invincibility after taking damage. So I believe this will probably make you slightly more resistant against attacks than normal, I believe. Yeah, not entirely sure how much damage you can take while wearing this, but I believe it's decently good, so it's not a bad item to have on hand if you come across this, I guess. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next necklace, which is the panic necklace. This will increase the movement speed after you've taken damage. So pretty much if I take damage from anything or a mob, I get a little speed boost effect, which could be pretty useful for making a quick getaway. Like if you're in a bad situation, you can just let yourself take damage and then sprint out of there in a hurry, giving you time to regroup and launch a counterattack. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next item, which is the Flame Pendant. So this item says it has a chance to light attackers on fire. Pretty much so. When I spawn in a mob, they pretty much have a chance to be set on fire just by me taking damage from it. And actually the good thing is you can actually block them with the shield and they'll still get that added effect. So if you ever find this umbrella and also these necklaces, I would recommend trying to shield yourself, because that way the the pendant's effect will do the work for you, so you don't have to do anything at all if you don't want to. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the Shock Pendant. This will have a chance to strike your enemies with lightning. So again, same deal here, so when I block them with the shield, they have a chance to be struck by lightning. Wait for it. Yep, there you go. There's that lightning. And I would say be careful with this one, because while it's true that you can smite your enemies with lightning when they hit you, you do have a chance of dying to that lightning too, because, well, you kind of are in the radius of it. So just be careful when using that amulet. In fact, make sure you're careful when using some of these amulets, because they do have their flaws a little bit. Okay, so let me quickly heal myself up real quick before we continue. So give me a second. And there we go. So now we're moving on to the Thorn Pendant. This one will pretty much have a chance of doing damage to the attacker. So it's pretty much a necklace that has like thorns on it, pretty much. Let's put it that way. So I can block with the umbrella, and look at this. They're pretty much taking damage by just the pendant. So it's pretty much like having thorns, but without the chest plate or the enchantment itself. This could be pretty handy, if need be. Okay, so let's put this off, take this off, and move on to the last necklace item, which is the Charm of Sinking. The wearer can move freely in the water. So this pretty much means that you can pretty much run around in the water as if you were on solid land. So let me quickly get the snorkel real quick, because I do need to breathe underwater. And that's the good thing about these artifacts, that you can actually combine them for some OP effects, pretty much. And look at this. I am literally underwater and I'm running around like I'm on solid land. And as for mobs, they're still going to be swimming around quite slowly, but look at this. I can pretty much jump around as I please, again, as if I was on solid land. The only downside is you literally cannot, like, try to swim out of here while wearing this, necklace right here. And if you're not careful, you could somehow take a little bit of fall damage, as if you were on solid land. So, let me take this off and we can, swim back up. Just like that. Okay, so let me quickly take this off and put this back, and we can move on to the next few things right here. So let's put this all back, and now we're going to move on to some of the items that you can put on your hands. So first thing we got is Digging Claws. So with this, it pretty much increases the wearer's mining speed and base mining level. So with this, I can pretty much mine a little bit quicker than I usually would. Yeah, this definitely feels slightly quicker. And also, it kind of looks a cool looking claw on my arm, doesn't it? Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the next claw. And also, the good thing about the hand items is that you can equip more than one at the same time. So this one down here will mean it will go on your offhand. And this one over here is for your main hand. So we're going to test out the Feral Claw. This will increase your attack speed when equipped. So with this, I'm able to swing way faster in combat. Like, I can almost spam click, and they will be annihilated quickly. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next few items, which is the Power Glove. So with this, it increases the damage dealt by the wearer. So I'm gonna put this in the offhand. That's a cool looking glove I got there. And this will pretty much increase my damage, so I can deal some very good damage to my enemies. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the next item, which is the Fire Gauntlet. Cause the wearer's melee attacks to deal fire damage. So pretty much meaning if I equip this, I can pretty much deal like fire damage to them without even having a fire aspect weapon. Look at this. I'm literally punching them with my bare hands, and I'm setting them on fire, just like that. Which is kind of OP if you do say so myself, especially if you don't have the fire aspect enchantment on you. This is a very good thing to have, in case you don't, or cannot afford it. Okay, so we'll take this off, and move on to some of the next items. So we got the Pocket Piston. So with this, it pretty much will increase knockback dealt by the wearer, so you will get that extra knockback damage if you don't have knockback on your sword. Like, look at that. It's literally almost like having knockback 2, but it's literally built in on your hand pretty much. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the Vampiric Glove, which causes the wearer's melee attacks to absorb health. So you have a somewhat of a chance to get some health back by dealing damage to your enemies. So as you can see, my health just went up, but not by a whole lot. It seems like you almost get like half a heart of damage for every attack, or at least a heart of damage back from each attack. So not entirely the best, but hey, any way of getting some health back is good enough for me. So now we've got one more to go over, which is the Golden Hook. So with this, it pretty much will increase experience dropped by creatures, especially those who have not recently killed. So look at this, I literally have a Golden Hook for a hand. So this is also a very good item because you will get way more experience when you defeat mobs than normal. So if you need to grind for XP by using mobs, this is the way to do it. Make sure you have a Golden Hook equipped on you and then go nuts, pretty much. Okay, so now we're gonna put all these away and move on to the things that you can put on your belt. Right here, so let's put all this. So we got a Cloud in a Bottle. Oh, I accidentally put on the wrong thing, so with the Cloud in a Bottle, it pretty much allows the wearer to double jump. So when you double jump like this, you pretty much don't take any fall damage, and you get that added jump effect. So if I need to get onto higher obstacles, then this is the way to do it. Jump, and then double jump with ease. Okay, so now let's move on to the next item, which is the Obsidian Skull. So with this, it pretty much makes the wearer temporarily immune to fire damage when hurt by fire. So it pretty much means, hold on. So I'm gonna let this zombie attack me. Oh, okay, if not. Okay, let me deal some fire damage to myself then. So when I take damage from fire, it will give me a temporary fire resistance boost for like 30 seconds. Pretty much. I'm not sure if it will reset if you take fire damage again. Nope, it does not. So if you wanted to put more fire resistance, I believe you will probably have to wait until the effect passes for you to try again. Yep. So when that fire resistance runs out, it should reset the... Oh, you have to wait until the obsidian belt recharges again for you to use it. So I see it now. So yeah, keep that in mind that not all of these items are as OP as they look to me. Okay, so now we can take this out and move on to the next item, the Antidote Vessel. So with this, it greatly reduces the duration of negative effects. So let's see if there's a splash potion of poison. So this is for 21 seconds. And I believe wearing the Antidote Vessel Yep, it pretty much brought that way down. It was like 20 something seconds before, and it greatly brought it down to like 5. So if you ever run into witches or other creatures that can do some potion damage to you, make sure you have this equipped so that way the negative effects will end quickly. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next item, which is the Universal Attractor. This will attract nearby items, or dropped items on the ground, so as you see here, let me drop some items real quick. And when I put the attractor on, stepping in a certain radius, all these items will get dragged towards me easily. So if you're ever in the mines, then this is the item to use, that way the items don't stray that far away from you. And that sort of thing, very useful. Okay, so now we're gonna put on the Crystal Heart. This will increase the wearer's max health, so it's kind of like a health boost sort of thing, so let me give myself some health back real quick. And just like that, I have an little extra row of hearts, which can be pretty handy, because any extra health that you can get your hands on, you should use it. Because the more health, the better. Pretty much. So let me take this off. Your health will go back to normal once you take it off. And we'll move on to the Helium Flamingo. This is an interesting one. This one allows the wearer to swim in the air for a limited period of time. Left click control while in the air to start swimming. So I literally kid you not, with this thing you can literally swim in the air. So watch this, 3, 2, 1. Look at this. NANI? How does this make any sense at all? Like, I'm literally swimming in mid-air like it's nothing with the Helium Flamingo. And of course you do have to be careful, because once you get out of that swimming mode, you will might take some fall damage, but I think you will have to wait until it fully recharges. But the other good thing about this is that when it runs out, as long as you have the umbrella in your inventory, hold on, where is it? Oh, here we go. If you have the umbrella or even an elytra in your inventory or wearing one, you pretty much don't have to worry about you taking fall damage at all, because you'll have that to cushion your fall, pretty much. But it is definitely a weird item out of all of them, I'll give it that. So now we're going to put all these away and move on to the final items we got. Okay, so we got some things for the boots now. So now we got Aqua Dashers. Allow you to walk on water while sprinting. So as you see here, I'm able to walk on water. Now this is a very handy pair of boots to have if you're traversing the Minecraft seas. Like if you need to quickly get to an island and don't have a boat, this is the item to use them with. But be careful, if you run out of sprints, then you will pretty much fall in the water. So make sure you have plenty of food on you to keep your sprint up, and that sort of thing. Okay, so now let's move on to the bunny hoppers. So with this, it pretty much gives you a permanent jump boost effect. Which, just like the double jump cloud in a bottle, actually if you combine it with that, you pretty much get both a jump boost and a double jump, which means you can jump to very high places easily. Like so. Jump and then double jump. Like, look how high I was able to jump with this kind of combination, so that's the great thing about these artifacts. Mixing and matching can give you some rather OP effects together. Okay, so let's take them off and move on to the next item. This is the kitty slippers. Now this is also very useful, especially for creepers. So let's say there are many creepers around and you don't have a cat with you. So with this, you can pretty much put on the slippers. And as you see, the creepers are literally running scared. And actually, if you even go right near one, they won't even attack you, because they're pretty much too scared of you. Like, look at this. I literally have cats on my feet right now. Well, or kitty slippers anyway, so with this is a pretty easy way for you to fight creepers, or even to harvest for their gunpowder, pretty much. They're literally so scared they won't even explode on you either. which is even better, because the last thing you want is the creepers to unexpectedly explode on you. That would not be very helpful at all. So let me get rid of them all. Okay, so now let's move on to the next item, which is the speed running shoes. So with this, will obviously give you a speed effect when you dash, like this. So this is a pretty useful way to get around if you need to, like so, and to outrun any mobs that are trying to hunt you down, or if you're trying to chase mobs down for that matter. Okay, so now let me do time set day. Let's move on to the next pair of boots, which is the steadfast spikes. So this will pretty much grant immunity to knockback. So I think the best way to demonstrate this is that, let me get some armor real quick. And also the great thing about these artifacts is that you can even have armor on while having some of these artifacts, because the artifacts have their own separate slot for you to equip them. So the best way to demonstrate the steadfast spikes is to summon an iron golem, because those are one of the mobs that can deal some knockback damage to you. So with this, because normally I would get flung in the air, but with this steadfast spikes right here, I pretty much don't get flung in the air. So if you ever try to fight off iron golems, then you should probably try wearing these spikes right here, so that way you don't get knocked back by the iron golem, because that could be a bit annoying sometimes. Okay guys, so we're moving on to the final item, which is the flippers. This will increase your agility in the water, so we can combine it with the snorkel, allowing you to breathe underwater. And with this, you pretty much have a fully good swimming gear on your hands. Like, look at this. Being able to breathe underwater, and also to swim fast in the process. Like, you literally look like a proper swimmer with this kind of getup right here. Very nice indeed. Okay, so that's pretty much all the items right here. Now I'm going to go over one more thing before I end off this video. So I was saying there was another way to get some of these artifacts right here, and that's by killing one of these. This is a mimic chest. They can be found in like certain areas, like certain structures, like even in the mines, so they can disguise themselves as normal chests. So if you come across these, be careful, cause they can be pretty tricky. So let me fight one. Like, look at this. You cannot tell me that you cannot get a little bit surprised when this attacks you. But the great thing about killing a mimic chest is they have a chance of dropping random artifacts, so no really telling which one you'll get, but just by killing one of these, you can get any of these artifacts. So those are two great ways that you can get artifacts in this mod, pretty much. Either by finding them in loot chests, or by killing one of these things, which I just died to, so give me a second to respawn.
Meanwhile.
And yeah, that is pretty much the artifacts mod in Minecraft 1.16.5. And that, my friends, is gonna wrap up for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more videos like this, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss another video. Apart from that, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you all next week in the next one. Goodbye!